CFG Game Cast, episode number 182, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers who like to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every weekend and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love. Do us a favor, give us a follow on Facebook, a like on a like or a subscribe on Twitch or YouTube, or just go to our main website, freaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, and with me today we are just a two-man team, but I am talking to a guy who loves putting so much candy and crap inside his ice cream. I'm talking about the five-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What is going on, my dude?
Oh, chilling. Still kind of on the recovery from surgery here a week or so, but recovery's been going pretty smoothly, which has been nice. Gaming wise, still grinding out Final Fantasy 16. We were just talking about it a little bit ago. Exo Primal just came out. That was a big pain to get everything connected, but once I did get things connected, it's been pretty smooth. I'm enjoying the game. It's a lot of fun. Do I think it's worth $60? That's yet to be seen. But yeah, it's it's like
it's yet to be seen. Wow.
Well, I have it on Game Pass. I feel like I'm coming from a different perspective just because I haven't paid for it, or I didn't pay any money for it. I'm a little more like, oh yeah, dude, like this is just about like how much fun I'm having. It'd be a lot more fun if I could play directly with all my friends on the different platforms. So hopefully they get that figured out. I think that'll be a huge boon, but overall, I'm enjoying it. It's something different than we've seen, but something also kind of familiar as well.
So wait, what do you have to do? Like would it ask you to join, to be with your friends and stuff? Like what specifically do you have to do? Is there like a option that automatically connects to you, or it just automatically connects to your Microsoft account or something? So
it for me, it connects to my Microsoft account, so it's seeing only my Microsoft friends. So like I couldn't even see. We even tried to do the old Dust had showed a trick where you can add a program and sometimes it'll bring it into Steam. I couldn't get it to work. Excuse me, but it only sees my friends through my Microsoft account, which sucks. I thought I even went into Steam to see if maybe, because I have my Microsoft and my Steam account connected, but to no avail. And we did a little digging online too, and we couldn't find anywhere or anybody saying anything about being successfully able to connect and buddy up directly with their friends. And I wasn't going to drop $60, although I think there's a sale on it right now. But I can't justify that, especially with it being on Game Pass. We've done that mistake before.
Hey, you know what? So. You know what, Smitty? You don't have to drop $60 for that game, because if you go on Green Man Gaming, CFG Green Man Gaming, you'll be able to get for $50. So there you go. So there you go. There you go.
I didn't even know that was a thing, man.
Oh, it is a thing. Yeah, Group Man. Yeah, that like I don't. Well, for brand new games, I usually go on Green Man Gaming to pick it up because we get a good discount. We get sometimes 15 to 20% off.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, on new PC games. So there you go. So CFG Games,
but other than that,
Green Man Gaming.
Yeah. yeah. Other than that, though, a little bit of Marvel Snap and stuff. We did a little more climbing.
What's your rank?
I think I'm at 75.
Ooh,
I keep bouncing into 70s, but we just gotta push through that. But yeah, overall it's been pretty solid, man. What about you? How was your week, brother?
It's been going great. It's very really I would say. It's very, very productive. I finished Final Fantasy 16 yesterday, which was really good. Man, that ending was god dang. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but yeah, that ending was good. Then you also, then the trip and the trek to it was fun. Definitely love the battle system of it. Like it still wasn't 100%. But it's still like now when I've finished it all said and done, I would say that the story is the thing that really kept me going on this game. The story was very captivating, and then but other than that, if the story wasn't so strong, I don't know if I would have liked the game as much as I did. But I will say that the game itself overall is the best Final Fantasy post turn-based, which is what that means is like Final Fantasies used to be turn-based till 10, so it's been about 15 to 20 years since they haven't done a turn-based Final Fantasy. After 10, they've been experimenting with new systems and stuff. So I say it's the best one of that era. It's maybe will be in my top 5, creep in like in the 5th place in my deal, but I still don't think it's quite that as good as the other of the previous predecessors and stuff overall, because there's some of the kinks of it kind of got to me a little bit. Like I think like you were saying, like you and I definitely agree. I think the side quest got a little bit monotonous. There's some that are important, but then there are some that are just felt like they're fetch quest. And I felt like it just took up some time, and then that was just one of the small things. But I mean, it wasn't a deal breaker. I still think everyone should come and try and play that game. And I think one of the things that really got to me though too, besides the battle system being a simple battle system, was that there's no status effects. I mean, like, why didn't they not add status effects in this game? Like paralyze, confuse, sleep, silence, something would have been very useful for something like that. Would have been great to do in this game. But I still liked it. It was a very fun game. Had a good fun 50 hours. I should platinum it, but I'm going to take a break like I always do. I always take a small break with Final Fantasy and then just do something else, and then probably go back to it on my own. But now I need to focus on Street Fighter because I am going to be entering the Evo tournament in a couple of weeks. So try to figure out how to play that, try to play that again with the new system and everything, which is going to be fun with with my boy Ken. So we're going to see how that's going to go. And then also I'm going to go to be doing some other cool content over what's it called, DreamCon as well. So that's going to be a fun one too. So yeah, there's just a lot of different kinds of things, man, that's coming in, very much so. Haseo says I beat it like 2 weeks ago. Well, I'm sorry, Haseo, that I'm a little slower than you. But yeah, I'm just kidding though. But that's good, really good game. I think they went rich on the story. They definitely went rich on the story. Yeah. And but like what I liked about it is that it was entertaining. Like the game is entertaining. I mean, like throughout the story, it just kept you in and pulled you in. Like it didn't force you to go to the story. It just naturally did, and then it also made you keep the pace so you didn't lose your place in what was going on through the main core story, which is really, really good storytelling. So I definitely love that. So unknown says odd thing to leave out for status effects. I totally agree. I just think it felt weird. I fought a Marlboro, and then Marlboro's known for status effects, and it wasn't. It was just damage, just pure damage. And I'm just like, ugh, so weird. Very, very weird. But but like I said, it's not a deal breaker. I think anyone should try to play this game if they like story-based games. This is a very good story-based driven game. Let's see. When is Echo and DreamCon? Well, Evo comes is the first week of August, and DreamCon's the end of July. But what's weird is that we're going to be busy. I'm going to be in Vegas for both what's it called, Evo, as well as there's another event that's happening called the Final Fantasy Fan Fest that's happening on the end of July as well. But then there's also an event that we're also covering down in Austin, which is DreamCon. That's like, so all this is happening in like a 2-week period. Yeah, it's freaking insane. It is insane. Yeah, so I got a team that doing DreamCon. I'm doing Final Fantasy Fan Fest, and I'm also doing Evo, and then just participating and also taking some photos and some videos and stuff like that over there. So yeah, we got some stuff to go do. You can do it next year, Doc. The only thing is that you probably may not want to do BlurredCon. I don't know if that's a non-starter for you. Yeah. But still, that'll be a non-starter. That might be a non-starter. But hey, you do what you got to do to get some of that stuff done. So yeah. Is CFG inviting to the next tourney? LOL on the Snap. I need to redeem myself for the last tournament on Snap. That was just bad.
He made himself look like a fool. He was talking all that trash.
I wasn't talking so much crap at all. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, not directly for the tournament. Just all the trash talking you do to me. That was your comeuppance. That's all that was. That was your comeuppance.
That's not even the comeuppance, because you know what? If that was the case, that means I'd be losing to you consistently, which is not the case. Face.
No. No, it just wanted you. No, it those are definitely comeuppance.
Okay. Okay.
We should probably get into the news, though.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We need to go to the news. Let's go to the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So, guys, so each of us chooses a topic of discussion through the previous week in the world of video games. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry, and we do not want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Kick, on TikTok, on Facebook, and Facebook. To be a part of the conversation. So if there's something you wanted to talk about, just chime right in, and we will love to discuss it with everyone here. So let's get this party started. Smitty, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, so I saw this story here, and it is kind of unbelievable to me. But there's a story that's out that there's a Genshin Impact voice actors are saying that they haven't been paid in months. Mind you, Genshin Impact makes a ton of money. I mean, we're talking about millions monthly. And like, so this, like, I was like, all right, that seems kind of weird. But I just want to go into this because, one of the voice actors, Brandon Winkler, writes on Twitter, after a 5th email with no response, this is regarding Genshin Impact. Inexcusable for us as actors to be waiting 4+ months for pay when you make $86 million per month. Unfortunately, this is not an uncommon problem, which is true in the creative sphere. But typically when you're freelancing, you're expected to wait like a month before you get paid. That's minimum. There's a lot of times I haven't been paid in months until months after, or sometimes where you don't get paid at all because the company runs out of money or you know, whatever. There's a number of different reasons. So it's not surprising, but this game is absolutely huge. So to see something like this is really surprising. They said that Winkler also revealed that in addition to being late, that their wages were also extremely low. He says, quote, "It's really hard to justify working on something for the sake of work when you can't afford to eat," they tweeted. "Many non-union productions have this problem. I've waited anywhere from 4 to 8 months for payment, and even then, it isn't much to ask. $1,000 here, $500 there, and it adds up fast." And I feel like this is kind of indicative too of what's going on with the with the writer strike and the actor strike as well, is that there's this different, especially when it comes to like some of these streaming services and things like that. And I just feel like in the arts, they kind of on the business side of things, there hasn't been any deals that have really acknowledged the fact that these new mediums have come to light and they're not being properly regulated. And I feel like this is, again, another issue. And we know this, too, from just in general, voice actors on projects and stuff like that. You know, a lot of times they're getting either, I mean, depending on their credentials and whatnot, they could be getting just normal rates. You know what I'm saying? A couple $100 an hour or something like that. But then these games go on to make millions and billions of dollars, and their stuff is used basically in perpetuity. Now, it's one thing if you get called back in, but we saw that happen too, where they came out with Bayonetta 3. And then there was the big thing with the actor that was like that you know, she came out and there's a whole, you know, that whole thing. And then Jennifer Hale ended up picking it up and whatnot. And, you know, but I think that is a serious thing that needs to be looked at. And clearly this is just, to me, unacceptable. Waiting 4 to 8 months for a paycheck. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, this is part of these people's livelihoods. And, you know, that's just not even a reasonable time frame from work rendered to payment. That is crazy to me. Yeah. But you see that a lot in the freelance world. So it's kind of not surprising that something like that, like these kind of practices are happening. But again, you would think, especially a studio that's making this much money, that they would be paying the people that are needing to be paid, regularly and
one of the
on time.
one of the, I mean, it's actually surprising because like who makes this? I think it was MiHoYo is the one that makes it. This is one of the very rare companies that the conglomerate Tencent isn't a part of, or whatever, it isn't a part of, which is surprising to me. But before I go into it, a couple of questions were asked, or statements were posted inside Twitch, as well as you can on twitch.tv/CFG Games. Unknown says, why would they be freelance with a game that big? They should be hired into the company, I think. Well, I don't think that's how that works, though. The voice acting game is very, very different, like on how that works. So it's not because like the way it's like a per project base. Yeah, it's a per project base, and then there's two ways. There's one of two ways that they can do it, because I've talked to a ton of voice actors on shameless plug on Pop Culture Gems, and like they've said the process of it, like 9 times out of 10 they don't even know what they're working on, what the game is. They don't even know what the game they won't even know what the game is until like literally, because there's times where people are in the middle of the project, they're just doing lines, and then they'll eventually ask them, hey, what is this for? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, this is for so and so, because of that's how strict some of these NDAs are for some of these people. But like the way, so like the problem is that now there are there are guilds for like there are groups for guilds for voice actors. For longest the time there wasn't, and but now there are, but some companies, especially Chinese out of country Chinese companies, are usually out of that, so they usually don't like to be incorporated to companies, to voice actors that are guild associated. So if that's the case, like they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Now, to say that like it's been 4 months, that's like, I'd say that's incredibly rare. They usually are pretty on top of this kind of thing, especially like I can understand if this was like an indie project, and then the indie project was like, yeah, they're struggling to get all their finances according. No, these guys literally get paid like they get like hundreds of millions of dollars in a month, just on the microtransactions and the process and stuff like that. And if this person shared their lines, like what the hell, like what is going on at this point? So the studio did respond to these allegations, and HoYoverse issued a statement to GameSpot suggesting it's the recording studio that it uses, not the developer itself, that has been laid on payments to voice actors. It says it's pressuring the recording studio to pay up and is looking into alternative solutions to resolve the situation. This is a quote from them now directly. "We truly regret to learn about the ongoing situation," the studio said. "Genshin Impact values and respects the work and effort of everyone involved, and we support our voice actors to claim their proper due. We have made payments to our recording studio on time, and we have immediately urged the studio to pay our voice actors. Meanwhile, we are also seeking alternative solutions. We will keep everyone posted on further developments." So it sounds like it's the not the actual company, but the recording studio is kind of like the middleman from the game studio to the actors and them getting paid. And it sounds like then the money essentially is getting held up at the recording studio. But for again, the dude that Brandon that had the tweet said that was his 5th email attempt. So again, he was clearly out there saying, hey, what's going on, guys? And I'm guessing he probably waited like a month and then started like, hey, just checking in on the money, whatever, what have you. And, so for it to go this far, for him to have to go and write this tweet about, the conditions, and he's not the only one. There's been multiple voice actors in Genshin Impact that are making similar claims. So, I don't know that they're completely absolved of any kind of wrongdoing within this, because clearly these concerns have been being brought up to them month over month, and they haven't really done much if these folks are still not getting paid
or there has been times where they're not getting paid until 8 months out. You should have made decisions a long time ago to get rid of that recording studio that's holding you up, because that in itself should be unacceptable. If they were within a union, then that certainly would have been against.
That would have been a red flag.
Exactly.
Red flag. But then again, though, too, what throws me off a little bit about this too is that when they got voice actors don't get residuals for anything. They do not get residuals for any other voices that they use. They don't get like a percentage of the games and stuff like that. For none of that stuff, it's a non-starter when for residuals. So usually it's a flat fee, and then once you get the fee, you're done. That's how it usually works. I don't understand.
Brutal.
That's a separate conversation in itself. So, but what I don't understand is that what the hell has the studio, has this recording studio been doing in 4 or 5 months? I mean, what were they saying to these people? Were they just denying access? Were they just pretending that they were closed? I mean, what the frick is going on with the communication towards this? This is kind of weird.
So I've seen things kind of like that where I've worked on production trucks for things, and basically they'll pay, they have to pay the people out, but then if they run out of money or they didn't make their, whatever happens, some people, there's a chance that you just don't get paid out. You know what I mean? And then you'd have to take them to small claims court, and it'll end up costing you more than what it's worth. So a lot of times they get away with smaller things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not uncalled for or unthinkable to think that, something like this is happening. You would just think, though, the fact that they are making so much money, that's not the issue. The issue is not the fact that they don't have enough money to pay these actors out. Where's the hold up? And their claims are, we're paying the recording studio, and the studio's not doing anything. The recording studio could then be taking some of the money that they're getting directly and using it, to do other things on their side, and then they don't have enough. Exactly. That would be my guess as to what's going on. Hence why this has been going on for a while. They should have gotten rid of this company a long time ago and found a better company to work with.
I just hope that it's not just the same,
or just go directly. I don't know how it works.
But why would they want if they jeopardize something like that? Hoyoverse, like I said, these people are making fistful of dollars.
Right.
That's a constant general workflow of money that's going into their studios and stuff. And this is not even they have 2 games that are like this right now. They have Genshin Impact and they have Honkai Star Rail. And those 2 games are getting a lot of money. And why would they jeopardize something like? I don't know. I guess that's just all speculations at that point. But hopefully this dude gets his money. I hope they fix whatever the product the issue is. And I just would love to know what the hell happened. What dropped the ball. And find out what's going on through there, because that's just so messed up. You basically had a person that's been waiting for 4 or 5 months. It's like saying you're waiting for your job to pay you back to pay you finally for your bill, for your deal. It's just
to me, this is how unions are formed. That people are just ridiculously all out and in the open, just doing people dirty, and people get sick of it, and they're like, that this is how unions are born. I would not be surprised if within the next 5 years there's a major push for that in the gaming space, and some sort of something
that already technically
it's happened. No, you're right. I mean, I think this is closely tied to with the SAG-AFTRA strike, with the writer strike, and just how the form and delivery, the medium has changed and shifted in how people are consuming content, and the typical standards of yesteryears no longer, a lot of them don't even apply, or people are not properly being compensated for the work that they are creating these characters. To think that somebody, just one of your most iconic characters got paid one time $500 for a game that sold millions of dollars is crazy to me. At least give some sort of rev share or something. We're in the process of that change. It is happening right now, and it is happening on all the mediums. I think within the next 5 years, the scope of the landscape of this and the artists that are working this stuff is going to be very different than what it is today.
I don't think they're going to still get the residuals, though. That's going to be an uphill battle. Like
that is going to be
a very big uphill battle for them to be like, oh, hey, you've been using our voice. You've been using like I mean, can you imagine like some people like Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, is demanding like residuals for the 30 years of Mario that he's been playing. So like,
I mean,
yeah,
which would be yeah, that would be crazy. But I mean,
it's not gonna happen.
I don't know.
It's not going to happen.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what they can do. I think something needs to change for sure. I think there needs to be better compensation for, especially when it comes to, these bigger stuff. And I think there could be different tiers. The same thing is like with indie films and stuff like that. They operate at different levels, even though there's still protections behind even independent films. They run a little more loosey goosey.
Yeah. Oh, they have to be. I mean, it's like because they don't have the budget or the money to be doing that kind of stuff for the big, with the big boys. But like, did you see like what some of the studios were trying to do? Like, was trying to get away with originally. Like what? Like so, like with the SAG and the SAG-AFTRA and the writer strike about AI technology. So like,
that is like crazy.
So I was like, wow, dude, I didn't even think about that. But then you're right. So this is a very important because like originally, so like they were originally going to say, hey, if you used your voice, or if you're a background character, they're going to use your likeness for background character. They won't give you residuals. They're just going to pay you for 1 day. Yeah, 1 day of work, a flat fee, and then the rest of your background work for AI is going to be like that for life. For the rest of the forever
in perpetuity.
Point. Yeah,
that's
in
crazy.
Perpetuity.
That
so I was just like
crazy.
Yeah, so I was like,
you got to pay you got to pay a lot of money. That's like owning a piece of footage. You watched the Hindenburg. You somehow got that one piece of thing, and then somebody said, "I'll give you $100 for it for the original." They can do anything they want with it. You're like, oh no way! You're not going to give that away. That's a one of a kind film. It's going to cost a lot more than that because then they'll be able to make money by reproducing it and doing whatever they want with it. But the original, dude, like, no man, that's crazy.
Is that crazy? Yeah. So I was.
That is some of the, and that's where there's these ethical things too within the AI space. I feel like there's a lot of good and a lot of cool things you can do with it, but there's also a lot of ethical things that come into terms with AI and what you're able to do with that technology, and this being one of them. They're basically saying, I mean, look at what is it, Secret Invasion. They did, instead of hiring artists, they used AI to create the opening sequence. Like, come on, dude. And it's terrible. It's terrible. It's like, what is going on, man? Like, they're trying to find shortcuts because they know, because VFX doesn't have a guild, like, I'm surprised they don't have it. I know they need to desperately. From conversations from like Donk, and folks that work in that industry, it's just like, dude, it is brutal.
It's surprising what how much they have to work with the small the budget that they're needing to do. Especially, can you imagine with Disney shows, like Disney Plus shows,
right?
Like what they're demanding for these people or these teams to do to kind of get things done. It's just it's unimaginable, dude. Like, it's surprising that they don't have an organization for that kind of deal. So
right.
Anyways. But anyways, well, okay, well, at least MiHoYo is actually working on this, so that's good. But then, but still, shame on them for taking it for taking it as long as it is. And then also for them to finally reply back after the people have been trying to get in touch with them for this long. I mean, Jesus,
crazy.
It's like, my goodness. It's like, finally, it's like, oh, because the reason why is because people social media has now got a touch of a little bit of the inside of it. It's like, okay.
I hate that it takes that much, that you have to go that far in order to get something rectified. It's like, I shouldn't have to publicly talk about this. I'm not publicly talking, and everybody themselves, but like, I'm not comfortable publicly bashing, you know what I mean, like a company or anything like that, unless you've done something like absolutely ridiculous. But like, to me, like, I cannot like a company and I don't have to like write about like, oh, just talking trash about it. I might just choose not to be
a part of it. Yeah,
exactly.
Totally agree. But anyways, okay, good deal. All right, well, that's a good topic. Let's go to my topic. And I want to talk about the continuing drama that we call the Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. So like it's always so like we've been talking about this off and on for the past couple of months now, several months, like because it's been a roller coaster for this thing to get done, and it still is essentially. So originally, as you know, Microsoft put a purchasing bid for Activision Blizzard for a ridiculous amount of money. I think it's the largest amount of money for a gaming studio to be purchased. Was it 48 billion or 68 billion dollars, something around there, something around those lines.
I thought it was like 80 something billion, wasn't it? Or like 70 something billion. It was something crazy.
It was a lot. That's what we know it was. Yeah, it was billions of dollars. It was Dr. Evil billion, that kind of amount of money that it was. So yeah, it's ridiculous of like what the amount of money. So because of that, now originally Sony was trying to put a pin on this deal for the longest time because they're worried because that is legitimately money that's being taken out of their pockets from this, and there's also the roller coasters of like, you know, some of the stuff from South America leaked a little bit, so then there was a whole nonsense of stuff that was happening there. Then we can go over all the way to Europe, because Europe is actually, they're still actually fighting with Europe right now, with England, about this this buyout, and so they're not out of the woods yet in Europe yet, but here in the States they got the clear this week to say that for Microsoft to purchase Activision Blizzard, but apparently the FTC was trying to reach out and try to do a last ditch attempt to stop this buyout from happening, which is crazy to me. I was like, wow, really? They really cared that much? Okay. To prevent this from happening. But then today, the ninth, I believe it was the Ninth Circuit Court. I you know, when it comes to courts and stuff, I hate the Ninth, the Fifth, and stuff circuit. I think the circuit, yeah, I think it's the Ninth Circuit Court denied their appeal. So that was the highest that they can get, unless they go to the Supreme Court for this, which I really doubt the Supreme Court will say, yes, we want to talk about a gaming company. So the court. So essentially they are, in a way, they are legally able to clear to do the buyout of Activision Blizzard for this to happen. Now, in the meanwhile, the FTC appealed the person that appealed the decision was a judge named Jacqueline Scott Corley, and he was saying that the motion for injustice relief is denied, and then they're saying the reason for it was that the preliminary injunction itself was they didn't have enough information to prove that this was not going to be a healthy for the business as a whole between all of that. So I guess so they're just basically saying, who cares? It's not going to be a monopoly. There's other companies and stuff like that. My problem with this, in my idea, I personally don't care. All right, let's just say I really don't care what's going to happen. If people want to be dishing out this kind of cash for this kind of stuff, so be it. And also, if this is going to be a reason to kick out Bobby Kotick, so be it too. On top of that, but like, my whole thing about this is that, like, you're depending on a court that may not understand the implications of this deal to go fully through, in my opinion, as a whole, because, like, dude, they have more important things to do than just looking at this case overall, a business. But when you really look at the business itself, like, if you really look at the big companies that are owned in the gaming industry itself, it is a pretty big piece of the pie between Activision Blizzard and what Microsoft owns already towards that. So I kind of disagree in a way on this, but at the same time, do what you need to do, man, because Activision Blizzard is still a shitty company, in my opinion, personally, without in this deal. They need a buyer. I mean, who's gonna purchase this company? I mean, even Endeavor, Embracer probably doesn't have that kind of cash. So, like, what are you
they're cutting back.
Yeah, they're
Embracer Group's cutting back.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, there's no other person on this planet that would be willing to be doing it unless it was like Tencent, and I don't know if Tencent would want to even do it too in that case. So anyways, I was just kind of wanting to bring the question to you, like, like what your thoughts are, if you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a bad thing, like what are your thoughts about them denying the FTC plea to block it?
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I'm again I don't really care if they get it. I want Bobby out, and I don't think that'll happen if this merger doesn't take place. They've already made, and you know, again, at the time when they started making those, hey, we're going to make a commitment to Nintendo, we're going to make a commitment to keep this thing at least for the next 10 years. So we know that for the next 10 years, and it's been put out into the public space now, and there's written agreements that they are going to, at least we know, for the next 10 years. And I don't think them making exclusive would make any sense anyway. They would only be cutting off their own cash flow in terms of that. And I always feel that it's been weird because PlayStation is got all kinds of exclusives. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black. I felt like they're like, well, you're not allowed to do that. We gonna do it, yeah, but you're not allowed to do it.
But
like,
it's not the it's not the
that
same.
Game's too big to do that. But there was no reason for Microsoft to do it in the first place. I believe for them to make that game to block it off and limit. If anything, Microsoft has been showing us with the moves that they've been making is that they're trying to open it up and just get people into their ecosystem. They've already said that they've conceded on the console wars. This is the only thing that I feel that they are ahead of in the game. And we know that PlayStation has bought into their infrastructure in terms of cloud gaming. They are looking towards the future. And I am a believer as well that I think on a more consumer level, we're going to be seeing more people doing cloud gaming in the future than people just going out and getting consoles. So I definitely feel that they're ahead of the game in terms of that. And to me, it just made no sense for them to make it exclusive like that. It wouldn't make sense. They would definitely lose money on that deal. And you know, that's just, it just never made sense. So I just kind of feel like it was something that was brought up. And I mean, again, it's a huge deal. So it definitely, eyeballs need to look at it. And because there are a lot of implications and a lot of things that can then, you know, be used in the future of you know, possible buyouts and things like that in the future and whatnot. So
well, the problem I'm having on this is that like I mean, it's not the same. Like I would disagree that you're saying that like PlayStation has exclusives and like, so why shouldn't Microsoft do it? It's different because the way PlayStation did it was that they didn't buy, because like Microsoft's mentality has always been to buy the smaller studio and then incorporate it into the Microsoft brand. They have always done that since Microsoft, the very first one. So nothing has really changed into that. The only problem is that now the reason why PlayStation made a big deal on this is because PlayStation put a crap load of money for Call of Duty. Call of Duty was their prime game, is their prime game, and then the big thing that that PlayStation loves is the microtransaction game. And then like, cause you remember the whole BS that happened with like you know the number one selling thing for microtransactions for Fortnite is on a Sony system because of that kind of stuff. So I think that like. Now mixed with what Microsoft is trying to provide in their full future visionary in cloud gaming, that's awesome. That's perfectly fine and stuff. But then at the same time, when you look at what they've engulfed. They've engulfed Obsidian, the company that was going directly against Bethesda. So the company that was their direct competition with Bethesda is now a Microsoft company. Now you're getting Activision Blizzard that's going to be engulfed on their side with Blizzard games and stuff on top of that. And they're saying that they're going to be they're going to promise that they're going to still keep whatever they had owed or they purchased in the past, as they'll still keep it active. But then after that time runs out, who's to say for them to say, okay, you're going to exclusively get this on, you can only exclusively get this on this system or on cloud-based gaming or on the whatever their Xbox console is for the future. So I can kind of see where they're coming down with this, but they've literally bought like 30 studios, like 30, like, I mean, and out of those 30 studios, like 10 of those were big studios, you know? Like that's concerning a little bit to me. And then plus when they were talking about who they were eyeing on before, like, can you imagine that because they had their eyes on Capcom before directly, like, right, and stuff like that, and then they're going to do the same kind of thing, like, even though with their vision, with their vision, I mean, I can understand they have their vision with cloud-based, I mean, but that can only take you for so long until you're trying to go with your direct competition. You're still even though they're going cloud-based, cloud gaming, and then you got Nintendo, you got Sony that may not be, like, incorporate, or they're going to make their own cloud services instead of just going to do what they do, their own services and stuff. There's still competition to you, and you're buying out your competition. I don't know if I agree with that from the most part. And then how Sony has always been, until as of late, they've made their stuff in-house, and then it grew to a point where they can make their own proprietary stuff. They weren't depending on third-party companies to kind of grow. The only one that they did was really Insomniac. But like, other than that, I think the way that they're doing it, I've never agreed on how Microsoft is doing it, because they've also closed a lot of crazy studios, and they've also done a lot of good studios have gone to shit because of the way they've been doing it. So that's my only concern right now. As for Activision Blizzard, I don't give a fuck. I mean, because the company itself has gone so low to me now. It's like it doesn't even exist. Like, I'm not even buying Diablo 4 right now, because I know for a fact Bobby Kotick is still going to get some money out of me if I did. But yeah, so I don't care. Right. But overall, when I look at the big picture, I'm kind of, it's a little discerning, like wondering about like what they're planning on doing with it. So let's just say, long story short, because I know we had some issues here just a minute ago, but I overall, it's cool that they're doing it, that Activision Blizzard is going to be doing it. But like, I swear, if I see another statement saying that Microsoft is trying to buy Electronic Arts, or Microsoft is trying to buy, like, something like a ridiculously big company, like, then I think, I'm going to be like saying, okay, this is getting ridiculous. This is getting flat out ridiculous. They know they lost the console war, but like, and I know they're trying something different with their with cloud-based gaming itself, but they just needs like, I just wish that it wasn't that they didn't depend so hard on outside third party studios to grow. I just really wish they kind of did this stuff in house. It would be great.
And it sounds like that. It sounds like too that their game division is not necessarily the priority, and I think that's where us as consumers are kind of getting lost. Like, I don't think their big moneymaker is not video games. Which kind of makes sense in terms of the moves. I don't think that was ever their main goal, but I feel like them positioning themselves at least further up along with this cloud gaming, I feel like, that really is something, and that could be something that they really lean on to make them. But I don't know that we will ever really get any true first party games. I don't know that will ever be a priority for them.
I mean, technically it is technically a first party game. Technically, Starfield's a first party game.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of first party games that's going to come out. It's just that the difference is that you're not going to see it on a console anymore. You're just going to see it on PC or whatever gaming machine, if they decide to make gaming machines anymore in the future for Xbox. I mean, like, so who knows where it comes down to, right? Because like, and you already know me, I've already said that I don't see them how, like, Xbox Game Pass, I do not see how they're getting a profit. I don't understand how they are even getting a profit on that.
They are not getting a profit from that. They are actively losing money from Game Pass. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another price increase coming.
Was there ever a price? Was there?
There was a little bit.
Okay, because like, I remember I've been always saying that there was going to be a price increase. I've been saying a price increase like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep.
I was like, this is crazy to think that this is that the price for Game Pass for all these games is this much, and then like
they just lose money. It's a money. Yeah, it's a money pit.
Yeah, I don't even understand. I don't even understand how all that how it is now. What one could argue is saying throughout all the studios, because I mean they could pull like what they're doing with like what Netflix did when they were trying to get their game out of the DVD rental stages, and then they wanted to do service like, you know, digital, and then when the digital they were saying that the rental fees for these, you know, these titles that they were putting on their deal was getting too expensive, they wanted to make exclusive stuff. That's what they're possibly what they're building onto, you know. So but yeah, I just think that overall, like, God, man, it's I mean what's coming inside the future works. I mean, besides like, you know, the big ones like Fable, Starfield is a big one, and some other stuff. I mean, who's to say? Like that new Obsidian game that's coming out looks really good. I forgot the name of it. That it was on their showcase. I was like, wow, okay.
I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, because Obsidian did like Thief and stuff like that, right?
They did Fallout New Vegas. They've done what's it called? Strange New World or whatever. Outer World. The Outer Worlds was also them.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everwild. Yeah, Everwild looks really good.
Everwild.
Yeah. Take a look at that. Yeah, I think that's going to be it's going to be a big game for Microsoft, in my opinion. If people who loved like Elder Scrolls and then they like all that kind of style of game. Yeah, so and also don't forget the Outer World 2 is coming sometime, so who knows where that's going to go too. That's also going to be an exclusive for Microsoft as well. So who knows? Jesus. But anyways, so let's see. Well, FTC fails. Let's see where it's going to go from there, and hopefully the time is ticking for Bobby Kotick. And as always, fuck Bobby Kotick.
Yo, those are the facts right there.
yes, pretty much. He tore that company down, dude. He got the maximum amount of money from all of this, but he introduced a poisonous environment. So fuck that guy, dude. Seriously. Facts. Yeah. So yeah. Oh man, Rare haven't seen that logo in years. Rare. Talking about Rareware? I don't know. But anyways, Smitty, what
games?
Huh?
Oh no, that was CHQ. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That the logo you're talking about. Yeah. So one last little thing. We're gonna stick with Microsoft. This is a bit of sad news. I don't know if you folks have had a chance to use it or not, but here not too long ago that they Microsoft introduced the family sharing plan within Game Pass, which is great. It allows you to share up to 5 different videos. Or 5 different people can use this family account. So essentially, it's like having Game Pass Ultimate for 5 people that can use it. And apparently, I was not aware of this, but apparently, it has been a test. It was all a test, everybody. So as of August 15th, they are going to be discontinuing this test. And we don't know what's going to happen. They decided to do it. They said they don't know if it's going to return or if it's just a done deal. But essentially, a spokesperson from Eurogamer that the company told Eurogamer that the company was excited about how this friends and family plan, as it was called, resonated with fans. The company is now going to evaluate the tests to help create an offer that we can bring to more players worldwide in the future. So it sounds like they'll be using something. My guess is, because as of right now, it was, if you had the ultimate plan, it's $10 more for the family sharing, which again is a great deal to be able to get these day one access, and you get 5 people that you can share this account with. I'm not sure. I didn't use it myself, so I don't know if there's like any kind of limitations, such as, you know, only one person can play a game at a time, or how that works exactly. But this is kind of a bummer to see that I thought this was a legit thing, because this was something that I was looking at, you know, paying into and like sharing with my dad and like maybe like my nephew or something like that. Because it's great, especially for that price point. Like it totally makes sense. I just hadn't had a chance to look into it. So it's kind of it's kind of, I don't know. We'll see if it comes back. I really hope it does. I think it will eventually come back in some sort of form or fashion, because I mean, this is to be able to have that many accounts that you can share it with. It'll probably be less accounts, or the price is going to be raised, or you know what I mean? Who knows exactly what, but I can't see this not coming back in some form or fashion. We'll see what it looks like. And obviously it'll be based on region too. And I don't know how that looks like. Can I have one and share with somebody, you know, over in the UK, or, you know, what exactly the specifics are on that. But if you do have it right now, if you are using that, that is going away August 15th. I believe what they were saying was that they'll send out something to people that are on the account for them to be able to sign up for Game Pass themselves. But the service is going to be going away. They are currently no longer accepting subscriptions for that service. So kind of sucks. It was I thought that was great again, but kind of like you're saying too, Dave, it's like Game Pass in itself already doesn't make money. So you're talking about that plus 5 extra people can now use the Game Pass Ultimate account.
Yeah, I think they're trimming. Yeah, I was thinking that myself.
They got to trim some of that fat.
They are definitely trimming. It sounds like they're trimming the fat. Indeed, definitely, because like that just sounds like they're trying to slow down the bleeding. If we're gonna do something like this, if it does come back, I think they're going to revamp it to change to compensate for, like, instead of $10, it might be $15 or $20 or whatever. For five accounts. That's insane. Like could you do now, if you're one of those 5 accounts, were you able to just, like, you know, go inside and just be able to do have the freedom of Game Pass, like they can all use Game Pass at the same time? Or
yes, my understanding is that it basically connects directly to your account, so you're like it's almost like a parent or a master slave situation, where the main account's the master, and then you have these offshoots, but they are in themselves their own identity. But again, I never actually checked it out or like really looked into like how it works exactly, so I don't know if, you know, Billy Joe over here was playing, you know, this game, if Billy, or I don't know why Billy keeps if Bob over here is able to play the same game at the same time. I don't know how that worked exactly, but my understanding of it is that each account is its own individual account. So
okay, I see. Wow,
yeah, it's a solid service.
Hard to see it go, but at the same time, I'm kind of not surprised, because like that's like this is exactly what I was kind of talking about. Like you're getting for $10, you're getting 5 additional accounts. I mean, heaven forbid, I don't know why you would have 5. I think it would be perfect if you had like 2 people. Like 2 people on the account would be worth it for
I mean, I'm cool with 5. Whoa. Yeah. Let's not. Take it easy.
I understand. I understand that, but
give me at least 3. Give me at least 3. You can't go from 5 to 2. That's a big jump.
5 to 2 is good enough, man. For $10,
3, I think it's good.
How much is
5 to 3.
Like, okay, wait. Are we talking about
$11.99 for standard Game Pass, and $18 for Ultimate?
Okay, so wow. Oh, so they did jack the price up a little.
They did raise the price. Yes,
because it used to be 15, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. So yeah, they need. Yeah. Okay. So like, yeah, that's what they're definitely doing. That's the case.
No, I imagine the same thing is going to happen with this family shit. They're like, we're going to take it offline. We're going to rejigger a little bit. Yeah. Obviously, that's too many. They'll probably cut down the amount of users. Maybe raise the price by like $5, and then they'll roll it back out. Would be my guess.
I think they're going to say they're going to increase it by $5, and they're also going to remove 2 people from it. 3 people. It's gonna be a 3-person account.
I hope it's only 2 people, not 3. I hope they only do 2.
you want 2 people? Okay.
No. Okay. I want it to be at least 3 accounts that you can
3
share.
Accounts. Okay, so you have 3 accounts. Okay, that's fine. Okay,
I think that's reasonable.
I think that would be the more reasonable thing too. Increase the price by $5, and then reduce the amount of people that are on that shared plan by down by 2, so it's a 3-person account instead of 5 people account.
Yes.
So yeah, because. Yeah, that would slow the bleeding down. But like overall though, like how long has this plan been into effect? I mean, the thing had to have been around for 3 or 4 years.
I don't know that it was that long. I want to say that it was first announced sometime last year, or the year before. So I think it's been a year or two. It hasn't been that long since it's been a thing. I'm pretty sure. Double check me on that though.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. I feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm still looking.
Oh yeah, I just feel like it was something kind of recent because I remember talking about it when they first said something and they first announced it. I was like, that's pretty dope.
It started in September of 2021.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
it's been
almost 2 years.
A couple months shy of 2 years.
Yeah.
It'll end August 15th, so it'll almost be like exactly 2 years.
You know what I think it probably did? They probably made the family share plan because of the pandemic. And then
I bet that was for sure. Sure. Now they're like, well, let's pull this back and make it something that we can at least make some money off of.
Exactly. Or they know.
But I mean, again, that's smart too. Is that we see a lot of companies that went super heavy in on this pandemic style approach to things, and now they're struggling to get back to what is now a more normalized state. And now we're getting all kinds of cuts and things like that. So this makes sense to me in terms of pivoting from that original vision as to what they built it out for originally to, all right, here's the world that we live in now. Let's make it something that's a little more manageable and something that, like we could still be able to make money off of, not that the whole world basically gets a free subscription.
Yeah, I definitely totally agree. But I mean, yeah, it's like, I definitely understand that. So, I like Xbox Game Pass has never really been my thing. It never has been, because if it's a game I'm wanting, I'm going to purchase it. Like, are you planning on purchasing Starfield, or are you planning on depending on Xbox Game Pass to play it?
I'm going to play it on Game Pass.
Okay, so like,
and then if I love the game, I would purchase the game.
Okay, so for me,
I have no problem, going in and actually purchasing a game. You saw me, dude. You saw me with freaking Anthem, dude. I purchased like 5 copies.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
that was a mistake.
That, like, it was already speechless on that. I remember that was the year too. I went to Japan, and they had Anthem on the cover. It was like $10. I was like, this is literally 5 months later. It was terrible. Oh god. Oh god. It's like, hey, Japan loves Anthem too. That was so bad. Yeah. Oh god. Let's see. Rizzle Fizzle, what's up, Riz? Says I could see the same account numbers, but price raise is all but certain. I don't see them holding it with five accounts. I just can't. It just
seems like a lot.
That's just so much for 10 extra dollars. If you're paying, like, theoretically, if you're playing $11.99, probably for me it would probably be the ultimate, because you would want to get it on PC. I really wish the PC one was completely separate, so you don't have to buy both. But I think that like having 3 is pretty tolerable enough. You don't need 5 accounts. You really don't need 5 accounts overall.
What do you mean? To share with people?
Yeah, to share with people. Are you kidding me?
Why not?
Like, I'm talking about for the company, in the company's aspect. You don't need to give them that much that much of an opening to share. Like, I think overall, if you're going to increase the price up, because the only reason why you're doing what you're doing is because either it's too popular, so a lot of people are getting away. Like, a lot of people are they're losing money out of it because everyone's grouping up like this, which I could easily see them do, or like they could just go back and they'll be like, you know what, or it's not popular enough, and they'll be like, there's no point keeping all these extra servers open because there's not enough people that's wanting to go and do that's doing it. Either or, they're just saying there's too much space. There's just too much space to do it. So yeah, I think it's very reasonable to have just a 3-person and then just charge up a little bit for it. So yeah,
that was very corporate response of you, Davis.
Oh, hey, you gotta play the devil's advocate for it to work, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it. And I think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable for what they're doing. 5 does seem a little excessive. Yeah. And I don't know if you, the primary, count within that 5, or if it's 5 individual accounts and then your account is the main account.
I'm assuming it's 5 individual accounts. It's kind of like how what Nintendo did with their sharing plan.
I love their share plan.
Yeah,
I got that.
Plan. Yeah, the share plan is reasonable too for 20. Is it 20? No, it's not $20, is it? No, it's $50. It's $50 for the family plan for Nintendo is 50, I thought, right? With the Nintendo Plus and all that stuff. Yeah. Like for you to get the extra year? Yeah, a year, 50 a year.
Yeah.
To get the
yeah. I thought it was only 30. I thought it was only 30 for
it is. It's 30, but it's also $20 for like the extra stuff, like the emulators and then the Mario DLC, all that extra stuff too. So it's $50,
which to me is absolutely worth it. $50 a year to have access to that kind of stuff. That's an easy yes for me.
Yeah. So we'll go with it. But folks. Thank you for listening to episode number 182 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again next week with a whole new list of different kinds of topics. But in the meantime, if you did miss out on this episode, which you all did by accident because we had some technical difficulties, by all means, go check us out on any of the podcast services, Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean. So we're on all podcast services. So there's absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Ooh. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, we will be back again next week. But in the meantime, also check out our website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to check out all the cool articles and stuff and reviews that we like to do. And we are also going to be doing a lot of traveling in the next couple of weeks with 3 different kinds of events, so definitely stay tuned to check out some of the cool stuff that we're gonna be experiencing there. So once again, this is Davis and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.